And speaking of traffic, Middle Tennessee is getting more and more crowded, and with growth comes some pains. But Fox 17 is staying on top of the bumps and the bruises, bringing your concerns to the decision makers so the pains don't have to be so problematic.
This is the very first edition of Growing Nashville. Fox 17 News' Johnny Maffey is calling out congestion and showing us how leaders are trying to deal with the traffic.
Doesn't flow very well.
If you're dealing with the downtown loop or heading in from Hendersonville,
that's an absolute nightmare.
Traffic, it's here. It's a part of us, and it doesn't care what time it is.
If you're driving just midday, the traffic is it's constant.
Heading up 24 from Murfreesboro or bumper to bumper somewhere on 65.
More cars, more people coming in. It's getting tighter and tighter.
The rate of the slowdown isn't slowing down.
In 01, the traffic was not bad, and it's gone up.
I've seen it grow exponentially within the past 10 years that I've been here.
Michael Lynn lives in East Nashville and drives back and forth to Murfreesboro. When does it get too backed up? When do people reach a breaking point and consider moving?
I've thought about it. I've thought about switching to a Tesla, autopilot, something.
The Nashville Department of Transportation is trying to ease the pains with a program called Nashville Connector.
There's traffic now, and the city's growing. How are you ready? How are you getting ready for more people here?
So that is the whole point of our program, is to try to find those, transportation curious folks that might be willing to try a different mode of transportation or a sustainable mode of transportation, but don't really know how yet.
The idea: work with employers and employees to coordinate commutes, something NDOT has had discussions on this year.
Teleworking is a great example of how to reduce traffic congestion while literally saving yourself money, time, and energy.
David Schrank leads Texas A&M's Transportation Institute. He's been looking at traffic for decades.
I study traffic congestion, and everybody's, what causes it? And I'm like, well, how much time do you have?
He says there can be coordination when it comes to remote work.
If big employer A on this side of town and big employer B on this side of town would maybe offset each other on the day they really want everybody in, all of a sudden you've helped to maximize your available space on the roads.
While many jump at the remote work opportunity, the Pew Research Center shows work from home down since 2022, with more companies wanting people back in the office, which keeps people on the road. On a more regional scale, TDOT also launched the I-24 Smart Corridor project. That uses technology like you see here to reduce speed limits during busy travel times as both a safety measure and hopes of being a congestion reducer. Now in 2019, a $45 million contract was awarded for this project. I asked TDOT if it brought down the congestion. They said it stayed the same despite the growth. Well, we all know, on I-24, the counties are still growing. Another idea: TDOT proposed choice lanes for I-24 where there would be a lane you can take with a price to bypass traffic. Schrank says these lanes can help bit by bit.
If this possibility can help us 2% and this one can help us 4% in X, Y, and Z, at the end of the day, maybe the total package has gotten us a 20% improvement.
A 20% improvement needed to avoid even heavier highway headaches.
I don't think we're on the scale of like Atlanta or LA traffic just yet, but I think it could potentially get there.
The traffic solutions for a growing Nashville will take more than one idea, likely several, with suburban support to keep Music City and Middle Tennessee moving. I'm Johnny Maffey, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Johnny, thank you. Hey, down the road on Growing Nashville, this series right here, you're only going to see on Fox 17. We're going to look into how these decision makers learn from other cities that are both similar in size and have already experienced growth like we're seeing.
And we want to hear from you, not just on the traffic-related things. We want to know about your questions and concerns about the growth problems that we're seeing right here in the Mid-State. And we want to take these issues directly to elected leaders and officials. We also want to explore the parts of the region's growth that is making the city a little bit better for all of us, not just the problems, but the plus side of the growth as well. You can follow us as we explore all of it. You can find us at Growing Nashville on our website, both on air and online, but online at fox17.com.